Hello and welcome back into the magical world of Photoshop. My name's Chris, Adobe instructor, and today I'm going to show you how you can refine your mask selections with even more precision. Today we're going to take a look at something called a mask density, which allows you to take a peek at your background so you know exactly what you are painting out or in at a glance. So let's dive right in. As you can see here on my Photoshop, I have a single image, and what I want to do is, of course, make a rough selection. So I'm going to actually go ahead to my Tools panel, and I'm going to take my Quick Selection tool and just get a rough selection of my subject here. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect initially because we are going to refine this just a little bit. As you can see, I kind of messed up here, so I can hit Alt just to take out just that little bit and release Alt, and I like that. It looks pretty good. Now let's try this. Let's go ahead and hit our mask button down at the bottom right. Not bad. Did a pretty good job, but it definitely does need some work. You can see some parts of the hair and definitely some parts of the arm right here, as well as on the left arm right here. It definitely needs to be cleaned up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a solid fill. And in order to do this, you actually go to your adjustment layer tools. So in your layers panel, click on the half moon cookie, as I always call it. And instead of choosing an adjustment layer, what we're going to do is choose a solid color. It's the top option. What this does is that it paints your entire canvas with a solid color. So I'm going to bring in my color picker so you can see it. And what I'm going to do is just select something that's very bright. You can do bright gray, you can do a bright color or hue. I'm just going to do a bright white. And I'm going to click on OK to confirm that. In my layers panel, all I'm going to do is just put it on the bottom so I see my subject, and of course we have the white background. Now, in the properties panel, there are two sliders. One is called feather and one is called density. If you select your subject and the mask for your subject, you can see I have the mask selected on my subject right now. All I'm going to do is take this density down, slide it to the left, and what this does is it brings in some of the background, but it's translucent. If I take the density slider and bring it all the way to 0%, we're back at square one. We can see the full background. But I have a range of options on how opaque that background is, so I can see what the mask is hiding and what it is showing. So of course, if I have it at 100% here, you see the full mask, the full cutout. But if I choose something like maybe I'm going to go 40, you can see just a little bit of the background so you know exactly what to paint back in or take out because you see the actual background. So let's zoom in on our subject here. And let's zoom on in. And as you can see, it looks like there's a little bit of shadow back here. And I can tell because on the original background we have the shadow, and I want to paint that out just to make it a little bit more clean. So what I'm going to do is, of course, on my mask layer, make sure to choose my brush tool. Make sure you are in your mask layer, otherwise it will give you the option to rasterize the smart object. And of course, I'm just going to go ahead and paint right there, clean it up, using the advantage of that density, seeing where the background actually begins and where my subject begins. A super awesome tool to actually use. And of course, you can always hit X on your keyboard. I'm just going to move my picture out of the way here. If you hit X on your keyboard, that's going to toggle back and forth your white and black, so you can quickly bring something in by having white on the foreground, hitting X, having black in the foreground, taking out. Remember, white to reveal, black to conceal. And I'll move myself back into the corner here. And so yeah, this is a very helpful tool that will allow you to make better selections in a faster amount of time, especially when you're dealing with subjects that have quite a lot of hair or intricate details such as equipment or accessories or clothing, etc. And that's all for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.